Your business exists because you had the idea to start it. Everything begins in our minds. That's why your business results cannot outgrow your current level of thinking. Do you want to serve more clients, make more money, without working more or burning yourself out? Grow yourself first as a leader of your business, because that's who you are, a leader, even if you're the only person in your business right now. When you lead yourself first, the business results will always follow. My name is Maggie. I'm an international business and leadership coach, an expert in business mindset, strategy, and high performance. I created the Diamond Effect podcast to help you elevate your thinking, expand your perspective, and through it, grow your business without overwhelm. So let's get started. Happy New Year again to all Diamond Effect podcast listeners. Welcome to episode 235. After talking about the goals, let's talk about execution of the goals and growing and scaling your business in 2026 and what it will take for you to do it. And the first things first, we got to start with marketing. Marketing is what brings leads into our pipeline. And who are leads? Leads are our ideal clients, not random people, but our ideal clients who are interested in working with us because they have a problem that we can solve, because they have a desire that we can fill, and they're already looking for a solution to that problem, or they want to fill that desire. And in today's episode, I want to focus on how to get consistent leads, so consistent potential clients considering working with us without spending huge amounts on ads, paid ads. Now, so I'm of an opinion that when you start growing a business to your first 6, even multiple 6 figures, you always want to start with organic marketing, not paid advertising. I will talk about paid advertising a little bit later in this episode because I'm not against it. However, it can get very expensive when you lose money on advertising if you haven't dialed in on certain things that are the best to dial in with organic marketing. So, organic marketing allows you to refine and deeply understand your ideal client. Figure out what is your positioning towards that client, meaning how do I communicate? How am I different? How do I stand out? How am I unique in helping them? And how I differentiate myself from the competitors. It also allows you to figure out the messaging, meaning how do I communicate all of that in a simple way so my ideal client understands, resonates with it, and says, Maggie is my coach, or Lisa is my therapist, or Tom is my landscaper. In order to do that, you do also need a strategy. Okay, to really get consistent leads through organic marketing, you do need strategy that keeps you focused, that's tailored to your business, that's tailored not only to your industry, but your ideal clients, your goals, and what you're all about. And as you refine it, you do need to become a scientist in your business to refine it, get really good at it, so that it works for you predictably and consistently. And then once you have that, you can start scaling and expanding on the amount of leads you get every day, every week through paid advertising. And that's when paid advertising makes sense, because it's okay to spend money on advertising if it brings you clients, right? Let's say I spend $1,000 a month on advertising, but then I get $30,000 a month worth of business. That's great. But if I'm spending $10,000 a month in advertising and bringing $1,000 in business, you're losing money and you want to avoid that. So when I coach my clients, once they're in a scaling realm, when they're going to multiple 6 figures, 7 figures, I do recommend paid advertising because paid advertising works for you. And when your business grows, your time becomes more and more limited. So you save time as a resource, but you're spending money, which is okay as long as you get good return on it. Now, today's episode is about organic marketing. Before I dive into 3 pillars of your organic marketing strategy to ensure you get consistent leads through it, what I want to say is that there is no one-size-fits-all strategy for anything. When I hear business owners go to networking or go to meetings and say, what is one marketing tactic or one marketing thing that works today? And then somebody shares new tactic, new strategy, everybody's excited, everybody starts going and implement without really thinking, is that right for me? How would I adjust it to my business and so on? And then they're disappointed that this new magical solution didn't work. Your business is unique because what you always want to remember is that your business is unique. And that uniqueness comes from multiple angles. It comes from the industry you're in, the business model you chose, so type of services that deliver, the packaging of those services, the ideal clients you want to serve. Sometimes if you're a local business and you have a physical location, the area you're in, your brand, so what type of brand you want to be, and also your goals as a CEO and what do you want out of that business? All of that should be considered when creating a marketing strategy. So it's not like you can plug in random marketing tactics. Oh, I'm just going to be on Instagram and I'm going to be on LinkedIn, or I'm going to post these things because somebody told me, or I'm going to try this, and then I wonder why they don't convert. Everything should be intentional, centered around your ideal client, who you are, and what are your goals. Having said that, there are 3 pillars of organic marketing that will serve whatever service business you're in, that you can adapt and then just, of course, tailor it to your business. And that's what I do with my clients. So let's get to them. Pillar number 1 is building strategic partnerships or relationships with other people, other business owners, other organizations that allow you to get consistent stream of referrals through those partnerships or collaborations and expand the visibility of your business in front of the right audience, in front of your ideal clients. And that's why I call strategic partnerships. So intentionally chosen, and by partnerships, a relationship where it's a win-win scenario. It's like a business friendship. It's not, oh, I just want to get, and I'll take from somebody. And if I don't, then I consider it a failure. I want to give even more than I expect of getting. So, but I will give you a specific example. So, for example, if you're a home services business, maybe strategic partnerships, the professions that would make sense for you to create those relationships would be another tradespeople. So if you're a plumber, maybe having partnerships with electricians, or if you're an HVAC technician, same with electricians. Or if you're a general contractor, maybe real estate agents could be great for strategic partnerships. If you're in a beauty and wellness space, then, for example, if you do hair, maybe partnering, collaborating, and having that partnership with a spa. So professionals who deal with skincare. Or if you're a chiropractor, partnering with a massage therapist, and so on and so forth. If you're in financial services, whether you're a mortgage agent, financial advisor, partnering with lawyers, real estate agents, and all those, right? So building relationships with strategically chosen organizations and people to create value for both sides. So win-win situations. And that takes time. Those partnerships are not built in one networking meeting or one 30-minute coffee chat. They have to be genuine and authentic. There's time and effort that you as the CEO of your business need to put into it, but they're very valuable when you do that. I have multiple clients who receive a consistent, predictable stream of referrals from such partnerships. I have them myself with certain organizations and people. And what happens with referrals like that, they're much easier to close. So very often a referral from a strategic partner will come 60% sold on working with you. And all you need to do is talk to them and show them how amazing you are without trying to convince anything. And it's very easy to close them. Like my clients' closing rates through strategic partnership, even my own, is somewhere between 70-80%. Also, those type of referrals, those type of clients are not expecting discounts or special treatment usually, or are cheaping out on money, right? They have high trust already that was passed on from the referral partner onto you. Their objections are minimal or not existent. I really believe in strategic partnerships, and it's part of my sustainable scale system when I coach with my clients, and I help my clients to develop that and create a whole system out of strategic relationships as to who they partner with, how the process, how they track, how they network and build those relationships so they're long-term business relationships. Okay, so that's your pillar one. Pillar two is online lead generation and conversion. And that happens, there's many options how you can visible in your business, but there are certain rules that govern that, okay? The first thing that I want to say, every business should have a Google profile. Even if you don't have a website now, you should have a website as well. But Google profile is critical, Google business profile, which is free to set up, and maintaining that profile and having testimonials on it where you have a high ranking is key, because a lot of people, especially when you're a local business, when you're a physical location, will go and look at that profile before they go on your website, or they might never go on your website and make a decision to hire you or work with you, or at least inquire through that profile. So you want to have a process and systems to make sure that your profile is up to date, that the testimonials from that profile are not 1 year old, that you have, especially if you're in a beauty and wellness, where you have multiple customers throughout the day, right? Where your number of customers weekly is high, you want to have multiple reviews, a lot of reviews, and current reviews. The second part of your online lead generation and conversion is to have some social media presence, even if it's just one platform. You don't have to be everywhere. You don't have to be posting 10 times a week. It might hurt you sometimes, especially on LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn does not actually like if you post too often. And again, that decision of what social media presence you have, to what extent, what platforms and one should come from a tailored strategy. So I have, for example, a client who is only present on LinkedIn because that's where her ideal clients are, that's where she's comfortable, and so on. Your presence online and your social media presence does two things in lead generation. Number one, you can establish a strong brand presence. Let's be real. In today's day and age, not being online and trying to grow and scale the business, you're doing yourself a disservice. Social media can really be good for you if you approach it strategically, intentionally, and you don't overdo it unnecessarily. So you build a strong brand presence, and it allows you to nurture people that might be your ideal clients. They're just not ready to buy from you yet. That's one of the ways to stay on top of their minds, because almost everybody is on social media on one platform or the other. Make social media work for you and convert potential leads through the content you create. But you need to, in order to do that, you need to have sales content in your social media, not just tips and behind the scenes, right? So again, there's a strategy that needs to be present in what you post, not only how much and where. Because you can prime your ideal clients, you can answer their questions, you can educate them on how you work, why you do the things you do, how you're different, how you're better, and so on through your content. It just takes intention. So your social media presence does two things. It nurtures people who might be your ideal clients one day, they're just not ready yet. And two, it converts as long as you create content that helps them to convert. Because creating content on just general information, general industry things or tips just educate your people on your trade, but doesn't convert them as clients. Pillar number 3 is staying connected with your clients, with your past clients, and your prospects that are not ready to buy, and nurturing that. So then, when they're ready to buy again, or they don't forget about you, they come back, or they refer their friends and family, it's easy to them to do that, and you are the first provider they think of should that need occur. So staying connected means nurturing, and the best way to do it is 1, social media presence, and 2, having email newsletter, so a way to directly connect with those people, right? That's how you stay on top of mind. That's how you increase your conversion. So from the same number of leads or past clients or current clients, you have more sales. This is how you create system for regular referrals, or how you can, right, create a process for regular referrals and nurture the loyalty and the brand loyalty of your current clients. Now, of course, the first thing to brand loyalty is amazing service delivery when your client signs with you. They will keep coming back if you deliver amazing service, but you can help them remember to keep coming back if you nurture them in between the services. And of course, every industry here is different, right? If you're in a beauty industry, that may be every other week, once a month, once a quarter. If you are a home service business, and if you're a contractor, that may be once every 2 years. But if you are more of a trade person, maintaining equipment in homes or electrical, repairing electrical thing, that can be fairly regularly. This is how I don't want you to think about marketing. Marketing, it's not just the number of select strategies where each and every one of them works in isolation. How I want you to think of marketing is an ecosystem where one strategy complements the other, where one strategy can do more than one thing. It can convert brand new leads, but it can also nurture your clients, give you referrals, and so on. Especially when you are focusing on organic marketing, it doesn't have to cost huge amounts of money to create steady stream of referrals. But what it does take is thinking it through intention, discipline to implement it consistently so that you make it work and then turn it into a process and systems that's repeatable. Potentially you can outsource parts of it, or you can hire somebody to help you, because as your business grows, of course, you won't be able to do all of it by yourself. And then once you have that working well for you, you can amplify it with paid advertising that will give you a good return on investment. This is the first part of client acquisition engine when I work with my clients to help them scale. The second part of the client acquisition engine is having a great sales process if you're in an industry where sales conversation is required. So maybe not if you're in beauty and wellness, where a lot of sales can happen through the marketing. The client goes on your social media, on your website, or gets referred by your current client. They decide, they book an appointment, and they pay just because the unit price of your service is low and people don't need a lot of time to think about it, right? But if you are in home services business, or sometimes financial services, or other type of services where the unit price of your service is more high ticket, you probably will need some sort of sales conversation or a process, especially if you're business to business, where that's a second part of the client acquisition engine and converting those leads into clients. But this is a separate topic. So to finish, I want to invite you. So if you're still, Maggie, but what do I need to do? What are some strategies that work? I still don't know. I want to share with you a resource that's called 59 plus ways to make your business more visible. Now, you don't need to implement all 59 plus ways that I have in this PDF resource, but those are some ideas that you can pick from and intentionally decide whether they're the right strategy for you, as we spoke, based on the type of business you're in, the ideal client you want to attract, your goals, and so on. So I'll link that up in the show notes. You can download that for free. And if you want to build a reliable client acquisition engine organically to make sure that you can grow, you can take your business in 2026 to the next level, I offer free consultations when we can talk more about it. I'll put a link to book one with me in the show notes as well. Have a fantastic week and talk to you next week. Bye, everybody. Thank you for listening today. If this podcast resonated with you, please come back. Also, you can leave a review on whatever platform you're listening. And if you have a suggestion, question, or a topic you would like me to talk about, let's get in touch via email. Email me at maggie@stairwaytoleadership.com. See you in the next episode.